Good evening, everyone. Let's bow our heads for a opening word of prayer. Kind and loving Father, great is your faithfulness. Thank you so much for each and every student and family that's represented here, for providing for us and bringing us here to this very moment where we get to celebrate your providence and your blessings tonight. We invite your Spirit here into our hearts. May you bring us closer to you, and may we leave more like Jesus. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. So I was asked to share a Bible verse for this evening. And as I was thinking about what Bible verse to share, maybe it was the inner anxiety from me, but I couldn't help but think about what's coming next. Intern year. But hopefully this Bible verse doesn't give you guys anxiety, but I pray that it gives you peace and it blesses you. It's found in Luke chapter 2, verse 52, which reads, Jesus grew in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and all the people. And I wanted to share a couple of thoughts about this verse. So I asked myself when I read this verse, what is so special about this wisdom that's associated with Jesus and how he grew up? Because there aren't many Bible verses that describe how he grew up. But recently I came across a story that I think illustrates this very well. So if you bear with me, I'd like to share this brief story. It's about a boy named Willie, which if there's anything you need to know about Willie, there's two things. Number one is that he had a very bad speech impediment. It was so bad that you could barely understand what he said. And number two is that Willie loved Jesus. He loved to serve him, and he wanted to serve him with all of his heart. So one day he was reading the newspaper, and he came across an ad from a church inviting him to go to a church convention to be able to be trained to learn how to distribute Christian literature in the community. And it came with a guarantee that if you finished the entire program, that they would place you in a community to be able to sell Christian literature. So Willie attended the convention. He worked very hard, and at the very end, just before he was going to receive his certificate of completion, the leadership heard him speak, and they wanted to reject him. They said, "There's no way we can allow this boy to speak in our program. He'd be an embarrassment to us and to our church." But by the grace of God, his teacher stood up for him and said that we made a promise. We posted in our paper, in the official paper, that if he finished the program, that he would be placed in a particular location to sell literature. So against their better judgment, they allowed him to be able to serve. Fast forward a couple months, and what happened? They looked at the numbers of how many people were selling books and how many books they sold, and lo and behold, they saw Willie's name at the top of the list. They're like, "How can this be? Is this the same Willie that we had just graduated from the program?" They said, "Maybe he's falsifying records. I don't know what's going on." So they decided to send an officer to go and see what was going on. So he shadowed him, and he told Willie, "Okay, Willie, we're at the first door. You take the first one, I'll take the next one." But instead of Willie walking up right to the front door and knocking on it, he actually turned the other direction, and he motioned for the officer to follow him. He went by a nearby tree and knelt down to pray. But as he prayed, he was struggling with the stammer to finish his prayer. But you see tears rolling down Willie's cheeks. Even though the officer couldn't understand a word of what he prayed, he understood the spirit of his prayer. As he finished, he walked up to the door, knocks on the door, tells a lady opens the door. He tells her his spiel, tells her, points to the letters in the book, looks at the different pictures inside, and tells her at the end of his presentation to sign here at the dotted line to purchase the books. And lo and behold, even though she didn't understand a word of what he said, she signed the paper to purchase the books. And door after door, he did the same routine. Pray at the tree, knock at the door. Fast forward a couple years later, a boy gets baptized in the church, and they ask him, "Why do you want to be baptized?" He said, "Willie sold me some books." And he said, "Why did you want to purchase books from Willie?" He said, "I felt like I had to have those books. I must have those books." I want to read you a quote. It says, "We often try to unite our strength to God's strength, but heaven accepts no such offer. It must be a union of our weakness with his strength. It cannot be a mixture of our wisdom, but of our ignorance and his wisdom." Hebrews 11:34 says, "Out of weakness they were made strong." You see, true wisdom comes only from God. In spite of all of our hard work that we put to this, to come to be ready for this moment, all of us will come to a time during intern year where we feel like we're out of our depths, that we don't know what to do. And we ask ourselves at that moment, what do we do? And it's in that moment when we decide to do what we do that we find out where our wisdom is coming from. So for Willie, his only option for true success was to go back to his maker, the one who brought him to the point of success that he had at that moment. The Bible talks about Jesus spending hours each night praying with his Father, yearning to discern his will for him. Proverbs 9:10 says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding." So, classmates, friends, family, I invite you all tonight to let Jesus be your source of wisdom, tonight and forevermore. Thank you.
Welcome to the class of 2021, Consecration in Hooding. Wow, we're really proud of the class of 2021, and I know everyone here feels that way too. As each of you graduates move beyond your last year in medical school, I'd like to challenge you to continue to choose a life of service and to use your skills to help the people around you. When you're in a world where you can be anything, choose to be kind, compassionate, and choose to be excellent. In a world where you can be anything, choose to be happy with a fulfilling career where you experience joy, a satisfying and successful journey that makes the world a better place. Congratulations to the graduates and welcome to everyone tonight.
Blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. Oh, what a foretaste of glory divine, heir of salvation, purchase of God, born of his Spirit, washed in his blood. This is my story. This is my song. Savior all the day long. This is my story. This is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. Perfect submission, perfect delight, visions of rapture now burst on my sight. Angels descending, bring from above echoes of mercy, whispers of love. This is my story. This is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. This is my story. This is my song, praising my Savior, praising the Father in heaven who sat and died for me, praising my Savior all the day long. For always.
As always, great job, Chase. Always proud of you. Just so you guys know, the rate limiting factor of how long I'm going to talk is how long I can stand on one foot. But I want to extend a heartfelt welcome to all of you here tonight, in person and online, to this ceremony, to honor our graduates and those in our life who have loved us to this moment. However, before I continue, I want to pause and acknowledge that for some of my colleagues, tonight is incredibly bittersweet, because there are very important loved ones who are no longer with us in bodily presence, but are always with us in eternal impact. Please join me in a few moments of silence to remember those mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, grandparents, and good friends who have made us who we are and who are deserving of remembrance at this consecration service. Thank you. For many in our class, Commencement, with its excitement and pageantry, has been the event most hoped for and used as a motivator to survive the last 4 years. For me, it has always been tonight. The opportunity to invite the ones who have seen me in both my glory and my mess to share this stage will be a snapshot in time that I will keep in the forefront of my mind when the challenges of residency come. Years ago, we stood on this stage and received our very short white coats that we probably have already lost. Tonight, we will leave this church dressed in such a way that proclaims for all to see the incredible academic accolades we have earned. It is an accomplishment to savor. But as I reflect on my new favorite outfit, I am reminded of the iconic statue positioned just a few feet away from these doors, the Good Samaritan. And for the only time of your tenure here at Loma Linda, I'm going to ask that you not follow the example shown in that statue. Scandalous, I know, but bear with me, because if you look closer, you'll understand why. Take a look at your program, or take a nostalgic walk after the evening, and you will notice that the ones who most look like us tonight, the ones who are decorated in finery, or more specifically regalia, are the ones who pass by on the other side of the road and avoid the dying man. We are not told why they do this, but I can imagine a few reasons. Unlike those leaders, may we be doctors, individuals who have achieved the highest degree of learning in our field, who are also willing to get our gowns dirty for the sake of our patients. May we be willing to put aside our own prestige, reputation, and fame to instead step toward our patient that has fallen or been pushed down on the road of life. And as we kneel into the mud and the bodily fluids, may we be doctors who are not afraid to cradle broken bodies, broken minds, and broken spirits. May we be healers that carry them out of that place, or maybe teach them how to do it on their own with our support. May we do this because it is what we are called to do. More often than not, we will have to wake up every day and choose this. We will have to be intentionally choosing this path because the obstacles against us are tremendous. This choice will need to extend to our peers, our future students, and administrators. And this choice might even demand that we identify the reasons that our patient fell into that situation so we can change those structures that led him there. It is a heavy choice, a costly choice, but hopefully one that we will all deem as worthy. I'm incredibly grateful for all of the amount of family that we could safely bring into this event, because I want to both thank you and ask for your continued assistance. I want to thank you for allowing us to stand on your shoulders. We would not be at this height of academia without your sacrifice and encouragement. Truly, thank you. But I would also like to ask for your intentional support of all of us graduates here, because the next portion of our training will be so much harder. In fact, it will likely be overwhelming. And I'm asking that you would continue to love us, drop us all the food, send us all the encouraging text messages, and occasionally seek us out when we have fallen or been pushed into a ditch on the side of the road. Would you please jump in after us and cradle our broken bodies, our broken minds, our broken spirits? Remind us who we are, remind us whose we are, and help us by either pulling us out or showing us the way out. Your job as our support system is not over. We will need you. We will need you in those future moments of pain, but we will also need you in our moments of greatest triumph. When we correctly work up and diagnose that patient, when we successfully complete our first procedure or surgery, when we inspire institutional change that will make the medical system better than we found it. Our triumphs in those places will be yours as well, just as this triumph tonight and this weekend is yours. Friends and fellow graduates, breathe in this moment, this feeling, this consecration. You have earned it. It has been my great privilege to have suffered, excelled, and mostly winged it with all of you through these 4 years. I am honored to be your classmate, and I look forward to bearing witness to all of the good that you will do in the various healthcare systems across this country and across the world. So, congratulations, Loma Linda University School of Medicine, class of 2021. We did it.
Thank you very much, Joyce. Before we begin, I want to just say a word of thanks to those who have planned this program. This has been a unique year. We've done this for many years, but none of the plans or things that were put in place worked this year. And what's more, the target kept shifting every few weeks. We'd think we had it planned, and then the county would say, well, you can do this. And you know what it's like. You've lived with that changing circumstances too. And so I want to especially thank Dr. Amy Hayton to my right, who took responsibility for planning this program. I also want to thank Jay Miller, our Director of Records, who spent many hours, along with Rosalind and Maria and Nicole in our office, as well as others. So thank you. The hooding service is both a consecration and a time of celebration and thankfulness. It gives us time for graduates to honor those who have been important people in their lives and who have especially supported them. Now, if you're participating this evening as someone who will be hooding, you're well aware that this has been completely unrehearsed. If there was not a dress rehearsal that you missed, there just wasn't one. So I'm going to give you, if things are like they are in previous years, there'll be people driving in, even as we speak, and so we may make adjustments as we go along. But we want to give you some instructions. So Dr. Hayton, tell us what to do.
Okay, I get to give you directions. So the program lists the order in which the graduates will be hooded and the names of those who will be hooding them. We're aware there may have been some changes to that, but the order is what we're going to follow. At this time, I would ask that the first 6 seniors listed to stand and walk to the back of the church. We will start with Adriana Alvarez, followed by Bailey Arnold, then Mina Askar, Ketlin Borda, Chesa Tiga, and Carolyn Aziz. So go ahead and make your way. You will walk along the back to the opposite side of the sanctuary. Back this way, students, to the back, and all the way and line up on the wall on that organ side of the platform. Families or friends who will be actually hooding these graduates, please stand now. So the ones who are making their way, if you are a family of anyone who's making their way right now, go ahead and make your way to them on this side of the sanctuary. Line up with your graduate along the wall so you don't block the view of those in the pews. Rosalind over here, who's waving, or who will wave, will be at the base of the stairs and tell your group when it's time to walk up the stairs by the organ. Doctors Kevin Cordornies and Linda Daniel Underwood will hand the hood to those doing the hooding. They will hand it in the same direction that it is to go over the graduate's head. When your name is called, walk together to the kneeling bench right here, where the graduate will kneel and be hooded. If you get mixed up, it's okay. Everyone manages to get their hood on at some point, at least mostly correctly. As soon as you have received your hood, stand and walk forward to this side of the platform. Dr. Thomas will be standing over here, and the graduate may take a photo with Dr. Thomas, and then the family may make their way down the stairs back to your seat. Graduates, when there are 5 standing, you will make your way so that there's always 5 waiting over there. So just kind of watch it, and our marshals will help direct you where you're supposed to be. So for example, as soon as Adriana Alvarez's name has been called, it will be time for Stephanie Baker and those hooding her to join along the organ side on the platform and so on. You all will catch on very quickly as soon as everyone sees what's happening. A word about photography. Photographs are being made of your hooding will be available online. We will have a professional photograph of the actual hooding with the family, as well as a photograph of Dr. Thomas and the graduate. Those will be available. Any additional photographs we ask that you take down here on the side after that the hooding is complete, so as not to stop the flow of traffic. There will also be time outside to do photos afterwards. I think we are ready to begin. Okay, so our first graduate, Adriana Alvarez. Adriana says, "Thank you, Mom and Dad, for the endless love and encouragement. Thank you, Brandon and Enric, for always making me laugh. To my extended family for the support and food, and to my mentors who lit the path during dark times. A shout out to my chosen family, who is the reason I made it through med school with the most of my sanity intact. I love you all. I'm so excited to stay at Loma Linda University for child psychiatry." Bailey Arnold. Bailey grew up in Washington, where she loved hiking, boating, and riding horses. She finally achieved her lifelong goal of becoming an emergency physician and will be starting her residency in Massachusetts. In school, Bailey dated and this month married her husband, who is a dental student, Luke. They aspire of having an army of dogs, living in the Northwest Mountains, and serving God in a rural town. Go ahead and hood Bailey. You're good. Great to see you.
Mina would like to thank her mother, father, and sister for their support, love, and prayers throughout her medical journey. Mina will especially cherish the memories of her housemates in Loma Linda and looks forward to making new ones moving forward. She's very excited to begin an internal medicine residency program at Scripps Mercy in her hometown of San Diego. Catlin Cris Atiades Borda. While a short statement could not possibly express Caitlin's thankfulness to those who helped her reach this moment, she wants to thank God for his loving care and those who have been his instruments for blessing her in her life. She'll be doing her residency in preventative medicine at Loma Linda.
Chase Atiga. Chase is grateful for the support of his family and friends over the past 4 years. He will be going to CPMC in San Francisco for internal medicine, and he is most excited to restart voice lessons with his college teacher, whose studio is located 1 mile away from the hospital. You'll get it on, Chase. Caroline Aziz. Caroline is being hooded by her mother and father, who inspired her to go into medicine and supported her throughout the journey. During medical school, living with her best friends, game nights with her family, playing sports, and attending church kept her grounded. She is grateful for the memories at Loma Linda University and is looking forward to her new adventure at LLUC UCLA for internal medicine residency. Congratulations, Caroline.
Stephanie Baker. Stephanie has dreamed of becoming a physician since she was a child. Despite the many adversities tied to her underprivileged immigrant roots, she worked hard and never gave up on that dream. Her journey led her to obtain 2 master's degrees and now her MD. Her residency is at Harbor UCLA, where she plans to return to her roots and dedicate herself to working with underserved communities. Zachary Barlow. Zachary states that medical school has been a bit of a roller coaster with some of the best high points and deepest lows. He wouldn't have been able to accomplish this without the support of his in-laws, grandparents, siblings, parents, wife, and most of all, God. He is looking forward to training in rural family medicine and to new adventures in Pueblo, Colorado.
Jeremy Brown. In medical school, when Jeremy wasn't studying, he enjoyed camping, climbing Half Dome, going to the beach, spending time with friends. He's grateful for God's blessing and guidance throughout medical school and the support and encouragement of his parents and wife. He will be starting a residency in orthopedic surgery at Loma Linda University. Armando Camacho Santos. Armando is the first member of his family to attend college and the first to become a physician. He is thankful to his mother. Yeah, give that a hand. He is thankful to his mother, who instilled in him the importance of education from an early age, and he's looking forward to paying it forward by doing his part to help those around him reach their own goals. He'll be staying here in Loma Linda to continue his residency in internal medicine. Congratulations.
Victor Kao. Victor was raised in the Inland Empire as the son of Vietnamese immigrants. The experiences of his upbringing inspired him to pursue a career in medicine to help address the disparities that are so abundant in the community. He will be staying in the Inland Empire and joining the emergency medicine residency program at Arrowhead Regional Medical Center. Ben Christopher Caputo. Prior to coming to medical school, Ben completed a BS in Honors Biochemistry from Baylor University, underscored by multiple publications in scientific journals. At Loma Linda, he was published in the nation's 2 top journals for vascular surgery. Albeit fulfilling, he has found the greatest joy in meeting his wife, Courtney Cohn. Alongside her, he will be completing his general surgery training at the University of North Carolina at Mountain Area Health Center in Asheville. Congratulations.
Wait for Courtney. Okay. Courtney Celeste Cohn. Thanks, Mom and Dad, for all the many years of support throughout this process. Ben Caputo and I will be moving to North Carolina to complete residency in general surgery. I am. Alexis Carnduff. Alexis Carnduff will be the first physician in her family. She would like to thank her husband, parents, medical school friends, and quarantine puppy Milo for supporting her. One of the things she will always remember from medical school is pulling an all-nighter for the anatomy final exam and experience her first earthquake. In July, she will be going to University of Washington for psychiatry.
Kylo Kadivar. Kylo would like to thank his parents for providing a free room and board extension for the last 4 years, and for his grandma for providing him with the best meal plan in the Inland Empire. He'd also like to thank his fiancée, Miki, for keeping him sane, Ken and Kaylee for keeping him young, and Aunt Larry and Ivel for always being his #1 hype people. He will be staying in Loma Linda for a residency in physical medicine and rehabilitation. Crystal Chang. Crystal's lifelong dream was to become a doctor. She is so excited to make it this far in her journey and could not have done it without the love and support from her family and friends. This graduation is bittersweet, and while she is happy to take the next step, saying goodbye is never easy. Good luck, everyone. She will be doing diagnostic radiology residency at Mayo Clinic in Rochester.
Matthew Chang. Reflecting on his medical school experience, Matthew believes he couldn't have done it without the constant support of his wife, Maria, or the support of his parents and grandparents. He recently had a baby boy, Atticus, and is looking forward to the challenge of balancing the demands of residency and raising a family. Matthew will be going to the ophthalmology residency program here at Loma Linda University. Stephanie Chang. Stephanie attended Loma Linda Academy, where she played flute for the School of Medicine's graduation for 5 years with her school band. She now gets to play the graduate role along with her partner, Tyler Haas, who she will be marrying in a short 3 days. As a true lifer, she will be attending Loma Linda's residency program in OBGYN. Stephanie would like to thank her family and friends for their endless support.
Tyler Haas. Tyler's passion for people is what drove him into the medical field, and upon completing medical school, he will be entering the internal medicine residency program here at Loma Linda. He will be entering residency with his longtime best friend, teammate, and soon-to-be wife in 3 days, Stephanie Chang. They will be navigating this stage of life as they've done everything else together. Zubin Cheng. Before coming to Loma University, Zubin was an undergraduate at Southern Adventist University, majoring in the field of biochemistry. He enjoys spending time with friends and family who have given immense support and love throughout his life and have brought him to where he is today. Zubin will be going to Kaiser Permanente in Fontana for a residency in internal medicine.
Christopher Cherapushek. Christopher's greatest highlight of medical school is all of the close friends he made while here, one of which he married. He is eternally grateful for the support they provided. Christopher will be doing a residency in family medicine and is pleased to be staying at Loma Linda for his training, along with his wife and many of his close friends.
You stay.
Esther Choi. After taking the longer route to medical school, Esther appreciates the endless support her family and friends provided throughout the years. During her medical school years, she met her husband, who could understand and share this journey with her. She is excited to be staying at Loma Linda for the internal medicine residency program, surrounded by many of her friends.
Hannah Choi. Hannah grew up on Guam. She was inspired by missionary parents who served at the Seventh-day Adventist Clinic to be the hands and feet of God. She wants to thank her parents for their love and sacrifice, her friends and church family for the boundless support and warm memories, and most of all, her loving God. Hannah will be the first doctor in her family. She will be going to Kentucky for a residency in neurosurgery. Esther Chu. Esther thanks her dad, mom, brother, sister, aunties, uncles, cousins, and lifelong friends who supported her throughout medical school from different cities, continents, and states. Their actions to nurture, listen, provide, and pray for her have helped her make this far. She came into medicine to serve people of all ages and backgrounds, and this year she will be doing so through the Loma Linda University Family Medicine Residency Program.
Ricardo Andre Chihutelli. Ricky wants to thank his family, beloved friends, and those who cheered for him and supported his ambitions and dreams. This degree is not just his, but theirs as well. The friendship he has made here will last for a lifetime and beyond. He can't wait to see what God has in store for him in the future. He looks forward to working hard towards the next step of his career. James Songhyun Chung. Before coming to Loma Linda, James worked as a nurse in South Korea. During medical school, he met his wife, who also graduated from Loma Linda School of Medicine and currently training in UCI as a psychiatrist. He loves spending time with his wife Megan, his two dogs, Dobie and Somi. He'll be going to the Family Medicine Residency Program in Amante Health.
Andrea Crago. Andrea would like to express her gratitude to all of the family, friends, and mentors who have challenged and supported her throughout her time here at Loma Linda. She will be starting a transitional residency year at Loma Linda University this coming July. Charles Brendan Krogan. Brendan has dreamed about becoming a physician for as long as he can remember. He says it almost doesn't feel real. I'm grateful for my family and friends that have helped me get through these past 4 years. I wouldn't have been here without their support. Brendan will be going to the internal medicine residency program at Kettering Medical Center in Ohio.
Leah Monica Daniel. Leah would like to thank her family and friends for all their support throughout this medical school journey, especially her mom, dad, and her sister, Lena. She is excited to see how God continues to lead in this next chapter in her life. She's excited to be moving back home to Maryland for a residency program in internal medicine and pediatrics. Jessica Davis. Jessica Davis will be the first in her family to become a physician. She would like to thank her parents who immigrated to this country and worked tirelessly to make these dreams come true. She would also like to thank her husband, Jacob, who supported her in every way possible through all the ups and downs of medical school. Jessica will be staying at Loma University as an OBGYN resident.
Kimberly De Leon. Kimberly would like to take this moment to remember her mother, Lynette Lewin, who could not be here to place the hood on her head tonight. Her mother was her inspiration and motivation for becoming a doctor, and though she is no longer here, her lessons will live on in her daughter. Kimberly will be moving to Orlando, Florida with her husband Jonathan for a residency in pediatrics. David Deemer. Beyond his parents, mentors, and classmates, David's biggest support in medical school has been his wife, April. This is a special week for both of them, as April's birthday was Tuesday and their 5th anniversary is tomorrow. They will be moving to Madison, Wisconsin to begin David's internal medicine residency at the University of Wisconsin.
Marta Maria Delgado. Marta is a Salvadoran American. At a young age, she set out to achieve her dream of becoming the first physician in her family. She has now realized it. Marta is heading to her first choice residency program for internal medicine at USC. She wants to thank her mother, Lorena, for the endless support, Edwin for always being by her side, and everyone who has walked alongside her to make this journey so memorable. Corbin Donham. Corbin has always enjoyed playing sports, being outdoors, and most of all, spending time with his family. While working hard in medical school, he also made time to go camping, surfing, and even get married mid-pandemic. He is excited to move to the Midwest and eventually start a family. He'll be going to Western Michigan University for a residency in emergency medicine.
Martha Mina Okaibia Dua. Martha hopes to be part of a growing movement of compassionate and competent doctors. She aims to educate on how mental health disparities and inequities are ravaging the lives of vulnerable communities. Eager to be part of a team that is determined to destigmatize and treat mental health, especially within the Black communities, she will be moving to Boston for a residency in psychiatry. Joshua Edward Edmondson. Joshua came to Loma Linda seeking a great medical education. Little did he know that he would also meet his wife, Melody, while they were in dedicated studies for Step 1, clearly the most romantic time in medical school. He will be traveling with Melody to Ohio, where he will be a neurology resident at Case Western Reserve University Hospital's Cleveland Medical Center.
Melody Rose Ballora Edmondson. During medical school, Melody has been active in CMDA and the local Inland Master Chorale. She has also found time in between studying and naps to date and marry her life partner, Josh. The two of them will be going to Case Western in Cleveland for residency, where Melody will be doing pediatrics at Rainbow Babies and Children. She would like to thank God especially for keeping her healthy.
Go ahead.
Alexis Rose Elsman. Prior to medical school, Alexis studied and served in several countries, including Fiji, Cameroon, Thailand, Switzerland, and France. Alexis hopes to use her international experiences and education to serve in global medicine. Alexis would like to thank her parents, Heidi and Glenn, and her brother Ryan for supporting her throughout medical school and for encouraging her to follow her dreams.
Christoph Foster. As a child, Christoph spent most of his time in the local library, where his mother worked as a librarian, and playing his piano at home with his father and sister. In the link between spirituality and medicine, Christoph continues to see his childhood lessons, that healing can be just as much spiritual and emotional as it is physical. He is excited to start his internal medicine training at Vanderbilt Medical Center. Christopher Galley. Christopher was raised by his parents to care for those in need, leading him to seek opportunities to serve others wherever he went, whether at church, school, or in the community. He will be bringing his love of laughter, cooking skills, and his call to service with him as he begins his pediatric residency at Valley Children's Hospital in Central California.
Lauren Joffrion. Reflecting on the past 5 years of medical school, Lauren realized that her most important lessons and greatest joys arrived with becoming a mother of 3. Now, with 3 children under 2, she is deferring a residency in pediatrics to pursue a career in teaching. She and her family will be staying local. Dragos Guinea. When he moved from Romania to the U.S., Dragos could barely understand any English. Fresh from engineering school, medicine was the furthest thing from his mind. 15 years later, he still can't understand much English, and that engineering degree is useless, but he is becoming a doctor. He will be moving to Milwaukee for a residency in family medicine. P.S. His future wife helped him write this.
Darnell Gordon. During medical school, Darnell showed his passion for helping marginalized communities and increasing diversity in the medical field through work with various organizations. He entered Loma University with the goal of learning how to treat patients with whole person care and will apply those lessons as he departs to serve. He will be going to the Ohio State University for his emergency medicine residency. Benjamin Gowley. Benjamin wrote, "I would like to thank my family, especially my parents, for their unending support. Mom and Dad, I could not have been here and made it through without you in my corner. Thank you for all the encouragement, hours spent listening, and everything else. I will also be thankful to my extended family and all my teachers and mentors. I will be going to the University of Utah for internal medicine."
Adriel Joseph Green. Adriel is being hooded by his mother and father, Joe and Janine, as well as his wife, Jasmine, whom he met while in medical school. He would like to thank the multiple friends and family members that have been a strong support system over the past 4 years. He will be moving to Fresno to complete training in emergency medicine. Daniel Joseph Gross. Medical school for Daniel included starting to date and then marrying Lindsay. He is grateful to Lindsay, his mother and father, and all of the family and friends who have supported him during this time. He will be starting family medicine residency in Central Michigan.
Matthew Hagley. Matthew has been blessed by the examples of devoted physicians in his life and is honored to follow in this sacred tradition. This day would not have been possible without the love and support of his family, yet his greatest joy is found in his wife Bianca and their life together. He is thrilled to continue training at Loma University as a future psychiatrist. Jason Hager. Jason will always cherish the love and friendship he found while at Loma Linda. He will be moving to Los Angeles for a residency in anesthesia at Cedars-Sinai Hospital.
Samantha Alana Astewa Harris. When Sam started medical school, she never would have imagined all the experiences leading to her standing here today. God and the text, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord," have really carried her through. She wants to acknowledge her loving, supportive parents, siblings, aunts, uncles, and friends watching from home, and her amazing fiance, whom she will be soon starting residency with. Devin Scott. First and foremost, Devin would like to thank God for his blessings these last 5 years. He'd like to thank his family, parents, Auntie Jean, sisters, and fiance Sam. His goal is to aid in restoring mobility for his patients. His love for sports, surgery, and innovation drove him to a career in orthopedics.
Benjamin John Herzl. Ben's lifelong interests are international travel, global health, and disaster relief. He will be staying at Loma Linda for a residency in emergency medicine. Adrian Ray Magsipak. Adrian is being hooded by her parents, whose sacrificial love and selfless care have inspired her future practice in pediatrics. Her passion is advancing health equity for patients during their formative years, and she will continue her training in child advocacy at Loma Linda University Children's Hospital.
Nathan Heinrichs. And family. 4 years ago, Nathan and Brittany were both sad and excited as they left their home in Minnesota to come to California for medical school. Now, they are once again both sad and excited to be heading back home to Minnesota with new lifelong friendships and 2 baby boys. They will forever cherish their time in Loma Linda. Garrett Shanks. Garrett Shanks is grateful for the friends who have helped him grow as a med student and disciple of Jesus, including his wife Nicole, Nate and Brittany Heinrichs, Matt and Hetty Strum, Steve Shannon, and his new daughter Stella. He is also thankful for encouragement from the CCHF community. Garrett will be moving to South Bend, Indiana for Beacon Memorial's Family Medicine Residency Program.
Ryan Hollis. Ryan is from Toronto, and he graduated from college at Burman University in Alberta. He will be staying in Loma Linda for his transitional year residency. Peter Holman. Peter would like to thank his extensive community of family and friends that supported him through medical school. A special thanks to the Florida Boys for the late-night gaming sessions and to his Loma Linda crew for many surf and golf days. Lastly, thanks to Mom, Dad, Cameron, Kristen, Shelby, and Charlie for their motivation, inspiration, and love. Peter will be staying in Loma Linda for his residency.
Trace Huang. They say it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it definitely took a village to raise this child. Endless sacrifice and patience were the key ingredients to this MD. And today is a victory for the village that carried him through. You know who you are. Trace, a musician and entrepreneur, will now pursue his passion for psychiatry at UC Riverside, with much thanks to the unconditional support.
Daniel,
I'm
sorry, go ahead.
Austin Ha. Growing up, studying was what Austin hated most about school. He credits his mother as well as God for convincing him that medical school would be a good idea. Now at the finish line, Austin is grateful to be part of a profession that is devoted to healing, educating, and serving others. He will continue his journey here at Loma Linda University in the psychiatry residency program.
Daniel Yonku. Daniel would like to thank his family. Without his parents, Leviu and Gabriella, he would not be standing here today. He would like to thank his brother for understanding him the way only a brother can, and his partner Melissa for the support she selflessly gives. He will be moving to Santa Clara for a residency in internal medicine. Matthew Hyun Im. Matthew is an easygoing person who loves spontaneous adventures and enjoys cultivating various hobbies. During his time in medical school, he loved photography, traveling, playing music, as well as baking. He will be continuing his medical training at Loma Linda University Health in Family Medicine.
Christelle Joy Imperio Lagaban. To truly know Christelle Joy is to know the strong women in her life. Her mom, Susie, and grandmother, Mops, have prayed, sacrificed, inspired, and encouraged her to fiercely pursue the mission that God had for her life, to bring joy to the second coming of Jesus. She heard the call to become a physician and will be continuing her training at the Cleveland Clinic for internal medicine residency. Il-Suk Daniel Jung. An interesting fact about Daniel's medical school experience is that he got married and now has a child on the way. Daniel says having a child is a blessing, but pregnancy is definitely not easy. I came to appreciate all mothers who had to go through nearly 1 year to bring a child into this world. Daniel will be moving to Los Angeles for a residency in internal medicine.
Chung Hyun Ji. An interesting fact about CJ is that his wife graduated from Loma University School of Medicine 2 years ago, and 2 sisters are graduating from Loma Linda Medical School and from the dental school this year as well. He wants to thank his parents in Korea who could not be here, siblings, wife, and parents-in-law for their endless support and prayers. He will be going to Orlando, Florida to start a residency in general surgery. Haeun Ji. This is one of the sisters. An interesting fact about Haeun is that her brother is graduating from medical school and her sister from dental school as well. She is grateful for her parents' support and prayers. Also, she's thankful for her husband, Anderson, who has been the greatest source of comfort and motivation for her throughout medical school. She will be staying at Loma Linda for a residency in internal medicine.
Jason Gia. Before coming to Loma Linda University, Jason was a high school youth group leader and worked on the ambulance. Today, Jason's great enjoyment comes from spending time with his family and friends. Jason will be in the ophthalmology residency program at Loma Linda University. Eva Johnson. During med school, Eva Johnson enjoyed baking, DIY projects, including furniture restoration, and became a cat mom despite disliking cats as a kid. She looks forward to the second coming when she will tell her mom and grandma that she kept her promise and finished medical school. Until then, she'll be going back to her home state, Texas, for a residency in psychiatry at Texas A&M.
Whitney Kagabo. An interesting fact about Whitney's medical school journey is that she was so excited and overjoyed when Dr. Roddy called her to tell her she had been accepted to Loma Linda that she accidentally hung up the phone. In full circle, she repeated a similar mistake when her program director called her during March. Whitney will be going to Johns Hopkins for a residency in orthopedic surgery. Luke Kang. Luke would like to thank everyone who played a part in his journey, including the School of Medicine faculty. He married his high school friend during his 4th year here. He loves his wife Stella, his parents Chin and Haitian, his brother Sam, and his amazing friends. He cannot express how much gratefulness he has for them and God who brought him here. He will be staying in Loma Linda for a residency in family medicine.
Nicholas Kang. Before coming to medical school, Nick started as a young golfer who always loved trying new things, like DJing his way through as a medical student. He was inspired by his mom and uncle, who is an internist, to positively impact others through medicine. He will be joining the internal medicine residency here at Loma Linda University. Donovan Gabriel Kearns. At the beginning of medical school, Donovan expected he would have many sleepless nights as he went through the process. However, he never anticipated that they would mostly be because his wife and him would have twin daughters during their third year of school. I hear you, Donovan. While there is never enough sleep for anyone, he wouldn't want it any other way. He will be doing dermatology here at Loma Linda University.
Julie Elizabeth Curbs. She didn't trip on one, she was playing pickleball. Julia has overcome many challenges during medical school with the help and support of her family and friends, as well as the guidance and encouragement from her deans. She would like to thank them all for such great support here at Loma Linda University. She said they truly believe in helping each student individually to not become only the best physician, but also the best version of themselves. Ivan Sungjin Kim. Prior to coming to medical school, Ivan had the opportunity to be part of international mission trips in Lebanon, Jordan, and Mexico. During medical school, he also participated in going to Chad through the Loma Linda University SIMS program. He recently got married in April and is excited to start his combined medicine anesthesiology residency at Loma Linda.
Soyeon Sarah Kim. Sarah is grateful for the support from her family who have traveled from South Korea to share this moment in person. She will be staying in Loma Linda for a residency in anesthesia. Brandon King. Prior to starting medical school, Brandon spent 2 years backpacking across 4 continents. He attended school in both Spain and Germany. His hobbies include woodworking, snowboarding, and backpacking. His role models and inspiration include his parents, Angela and Stephen, his brother Matthew, and his girlfriend Leilani. He will be going into an anesthesia residency at Mount Sinai in New York.
Catherine Knox Concepcion. Catherine is overjoyed to be completing her MD and graduating with her PhD this weekend. After 7 years of training with the support of the faculty at Loma Linda University, she lovingly acknowledges her husband Cole Knox and the shoulders of those that she stands upon, including her dad, mom, and grandparents. She will be going to the esteemed Cincinnati Children's Hospital for her residency in pediatrics. Johan Kuppers. Johan was inspired to go to medical school after working in a cement factory for 4 summers. He is known to be adept at repositioning OR lights thanks to his ape-like arms. He would like to thank God, his parents, and his brothers for the unconditional love and support over the last 4 years. He is going to Olympia, Washington for a family medicine residency.
Sarah Lee. Sarah is the first in her family to go to medical school. Her younger brother David, who is on the stage with her, is currently a first-year medical student. Her Korean mother is over the moon. Sarah would like to thank her family and new lifelong friends that she made in medical school for supporting her throughout this journey. She will be moving to New York for a residency in general surgery at Cornell. James Lelis. James is finishing his 2nd doctor's degree. He completed his Doctor of Dental Surgery degree from the University of California, San Francisco, and is graduating with his MD degree this weekend. He will be staying at Loma Linda for a residency in oral maxillofacial surgery.
Ashley Lee. Ashley would like to thank her family, friends, mentors, and colleagues for their unconditional support. She wrote, "It is amazing how much we can endure and overcome, but it is even more amazing how faithful God has been to us through it all." She will be moving to Rochester, New York with her fiancé, Jae-min, for a residency in urology. Andrew Jamin Park. This is the fiancé. Jamin gives praise to Christ for calling him to a career in medicine and sustaining him through the ups and downs of medical school. He wants to thank his family and fiancé for their love, support, and belief in him. He cannot wait to see what God has in store for his future. He will be moving to Rochester, New York with his fiancée Ashley for a research fellowship in orthopedic surgery.
Lauren Lightburn. Lauren would like to dedicate her degree to her late father Lawrence and late grandfather Ronald Lightburn, who attended Loma Linda University School of Medicine when he was one of 4 black students in his class. She will follow in his footsteps to obtain a degree in public health from Loma Linda University to fight the most damaging health crisis in the U.S., racism. She is also thankful to her mom, who always said, "You have what it takes." Richard Lindsay. After 9 years at Loma Linda University, a time which has simultaneously felt like an eternity and no time at all, Rick is overjoyed to complete his MD and PhD. He is grateful to his family, his friends, and his church, without which none of this would be possible. He will be going to the Mayo Clinic in Rochester for a residency in internal medicine.
Hannah Litvin. Hannah would like to thank her family for their continued love and support throughout her life. She is also grateful for the joy that her friendships in medical school have brought her. Hannah will be staying at Loma Linda University for the internal medicine residency program. Kara Lodenkamp. Kara has a passion for traveling and loves experiencing new foods and cultures. She enjoys spending time with her 2 dogs and her husband, who is also in medical school. She plans on doing international missions after residency. She would like to thank her husband and family for their continued support throughout this journey. She will be staying in Loma Linda for a residency in anesthesia.
Yamile Dene Lozano. After Yamile's grandma earned her own middle school diploma at age 77, she told her, "Degrees don't belong to the intelligent, but to the perseverant." As a first-generation college student, this phrase encouraged Yamile through the many challenges of medical school. Thank you to family and chosen family for supporting her every day. She is excited to move to San Diego for an internal medicine residency at UCSD. Matthew Alexander Lund. Today, like most days, is a day to celebrate Matthew and his many achievements. He is accompanied by his biggest fans, his wife Samantha and his parents Mark and Debbie. They truly could not be prouder. This is only Matthew's second biggest accomplishment, as he accomplished his first, marrying the love of his life on April 25th. Matthew will be starting his journey as a physician at Loma Linda.
Emmeline Magtanong. Emmeline was inspired by her parents to pursue a career in medicine with the goal of serving on medical mission trips to the Philippines. Her most memorable medical school experience, including exploring Southern California, attending live concerts and Broadway shows, and getting her lovable Maltipoo Watson. She will be staying in Loma Linda for a residency in general surgery. Yuna Kang. Yuna has always loved animals and nature, graduating from college with an animal science degree and even doing research with dairy cows, but ultimately medicine was her calling. She especially loved hiking and exploring California's beautiful outdoors with her new puppy, Archie, but she's excited to go back home to Georgia for her residency and be close to her family again.
Christina Mansour. Christina was influenced by witnessing the hard work and perseverance of her immigrant parents, which instilled a strong work ethic and drive for furthering her education. By keeping her faith in God at the forefront, she was able to fulfill her childhood dream of becoming a physician in hopes of making a change in the world. She thanks her family, friends, and mentors who have supported her. Brendan Patrick Sheridan. Brendan Sheridan's goal ever since the 7th grade was to become a surgeon. He drew a broken heart with a stethoscope around it and said he wanted to become a cardiothoracic surgeon. He still has that picture to this day. No matter what path we follow, remember that God continues to work through us day and night. Let not our hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid. The best is yet to come.
Ryan Murray. Ryan never would have made it through medical school without the love and support of his family and friends. In particular, he would like to thank his parents, John and Dottie Murray, and his uncle, Gary Murray. They made it possible for him to be where he is today. Ryan will be staying at Loma Linda University for internal medicine and hopes to follow his father and uncle into cardiology. Gabrielle Marcelino. Gabby and her husband Thomas eloped after her second year of medical school over winter break. Randy Sanchez, a fellow medical student, was the only person in attendance. She enjoys old people hobbies such as loom knitting, cross-stitching, and puzzles. She will be going to Fort Bragg, North Carolina for an Army residency in obstetrics and gynecology.
Corey Markle. Corey is grateful to his parents and his wife, Paula, for the support throughout medical school. Corey and Paula are moving to Boston for Corey to start at Harvard-affiliated emergency medicine residency at Beth Israel Deaconess. Esther Mazilamoni. Esther was raised in the medical mission field by her parents, Stan and Grace. She traces her desire to become a doctor back to the influence of those years growing up in the Guam Micronesian Clinic. While in medical school, she has been supported by her husband Jerome as well as her friends and family. Most importantly, she wants to acknowledge God's leading in bringing her this far.
Joyce McCrae. Joyce wants to take a few moments to thank those who have supported her in completing this journey. Her parents, brother Sam, sister-in-law Katie, nephews Ridley, Silas, and Zeke, grandparents, cousins, and extended family, roommates, friends, church families, classmates, and mentors. She will be in Loma Linda for a residency in general surgery. Sheridan Lindsay Messenger. Sheridan is one of a handful of messengers who have had the pleasure to endure all the fun that medical school has to offer at Loma Linda. He would like to thank his family and friends, especially his girlfriend Katie, who have all contributed to his success during this time. He will be going to the Navy Medical Center San Diego for an internship and plans to continue a career in rehabilitation medicine.
Lauren Elizabeth Miller. Prior to coming to medical school, Lauren taught snowboarding and enjoyed living and working in the open outdoors. She was inspired to enter medicine after completing a medical missionary training course where she witnessed several doctors sacrifice their time, salary, and prestige to help those in need. She will be moving to Vancouver, Washington for a residency in family medicine. Michael Moores. Prior to coming to medical school, Michael had intended to become an electrical engineer with an interest in robotics. However, the incredible care and devotion that his father, a surgeon, always demonstrated for each of his patients, as well as his own experience developing robotic prosthetics, inspired him to become a doctor. He has been accepted into the PM&R residency program here in Loma Linda.
Michelle Narita. Michelle would like to express her thanks to all the family, friends, classmates, and faculty who gave their time and effort to help her graduate. She would also like to give a special thanks to her parents who provided her with unlimited love, support, and opportunity, and they are the reason she's here today. She will be joining her husband Paris at Eisenhower Family Medicine Residency in Palm Desert. Nathan Jack Nellison. Nathan would like to thank his friends, family, and fiancé for all of their support during his medical school training. He will be continuing his training at Loma Linda as a resident in occupational and environmental medicine. Reed Allison Nerness. Prior to medical school, Reed earned a French degree and enjoyed traveling and spending time with her family. She wants to thank her mentors who inspired and empowered her to serve through education and academic medicine, and her fiancé and family whose support is invaluable and unwavering. She is returning home to start residency at the Oregon Health and Science University program in internal medicine. Nathaniel David Ng. Nathaniel Ng, also known as Nat, would not be who he is or where he is without God and the grandparents, parents, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, cousins, friends, teachers, colleagues, and mentors who have cared for him along the way. He loves them all very much. He will be going to In His Image Family Medicine Residency in Tulsa, Oklahoma. All glory be to Christ.
Lori Mae Nicholas. 17 years ago, my parents left the comfort of their home and life in Haiti to come here to provide a better opportunity for their children. I am the result of their sacrifices. My father's midnight prayers, my mother's never-ending dedication, my entire family's support, both financially and spiritually. Most importantly, I am the result of my Heavenly Father's blessing over me. Haley Norris. Haley is the loving mother to her dog Lola, who came into her life during the pandemic and has been her constant companion during this last year. They both love good food, long walks, and cozy naps. They spend most of their free time with friends, exploring the beach or a national park. They will remain nearby as Haley completes her psychiatry residency at the University of California, Riverside.
Connie O. During medical school, Connie's heart was full. She found a new passion for medicine and felt blessed to have met many lifelong friends and loving faculty who inspire her. She looks forward to walking a life of faith with them. She will be going to Cedars-Sinai Internal Medicine Residency Program in Los Angeles. Nathan O. Nathan is incredibly grateful to his family, his mom, dad, and 2 sisters, for all the love and support throughout his life. He had an amazing time in medical school with the friends he made. He will be at Kaiser Permanente in Los Angeles for an internal medicine residency.
Luis Olmedo. Finishing medical school is an accomplishment that Luis has been able to achieve thanks to multiple important people in his life. Although it will be impossible to name everyone, he wants to give special mention to his mother, sister, and girlfriend for the everyday support throughout this journey. This achievement is dedicated to his father, whose memory and teachings will never be forgotten. Nilmani Peng. By God's grace, Nilmani Peng is graduating with the class of 2021. She hopes that her future as a doctor brings hope and healing to the people under her care. Nilmani.
Jamie Park. Oh. Thank you. Jamie Park. Jamie would like to thank her mother and father for their endless support, and her siblings Josh and Joanne for being the greatest role models and companions since childhood. She is excited to be staying at Loma Linda during her residency in otolaryngology, head and neck surgery. Jonathan Pham. Jonathan loves baking, cooking, going on outdoor adventures, and having game nights with friends. His future aspirations include educating the next generation of physicians and raising the happiest golden retrievers. Jonathan will be at Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota for a residency in internal medicine.
Andrew Pop. Andrew is a first-generation American and the first in his family to pursue a career in the field of medicine. He will be completing an interventional radiology training program here at Loma Linda University. To God be the glory. Mitchell Douglas Prinz. Mitchell would like to thank his family, the boys, and all of his friends for their support. He is excited to keep finding new opportunities to be creative within medicine. Mitchell will be heading to San Diego for internal medicine at Scripps Green.
Alex Ramos. Before coming to Loma Linda, Alex found joy in mission work to areas such as Guatemala and Peru. She loves spending time with her family, who are her biggest supporters, and her dog, Kobe. One of the most memorable parts of medical school has been the wonderful friendships she found here. She will be staying in Loma Linda for a residency in emergency medicine. Edwina Rao. Edwina is a public health professional with a Master in Public Health and Global Health from Loma Linda University. Also, she's an active French horn player. She is grateful to God who has been with her throughout every step of her journey. She would like to thank her family and friends and teachers and the Dean's Office for their support. She matched to internal medicine at Kettering in Ohio.
Benjamin Robinson. Ben loves nothing more than relationship and making others smile. Part of his inspiration to enter medicine was this inspiration to love others, and that he received from his grandparents, Gail, Daryl, and Doris, and his parents who are hooding him today. We love because he first loved us. He is pleased to be staying at Loma Linda University as he enters residency training in psychiatry. Melanie Roman. It is Melanie's greatest joy that she gets to be here with her mother and father, the people she drew inspiration from on a daily basis throughout medical school. When she felt like the exhaustion was just too much, she recalled the countless times Mom and Dad woke her up at 4 a.m. to work for her family and still managed to be awesome parents. She will be staying in Loma Linda for residency in general surgery.
Jae Dong Roo. Jae graduated from the University of California in San Diego and then went to the University of Pennsylvania, where he completed his doctorate degree in dentistry. He will be staying in Loma Linda to complete his oral and maxillofacial surgery residency, and he wants to acknowledge his parents who are here tonight from Seoul, Korea. Jonathan Sawada. Jonathan is grateful for a straight path to and through medical school and would like to say thanks to his parents, families, teachers, and friends who have supported and believed in him. He hopes his grandpa in heaven knows his investment paid off. Jonathan will be doing his residency at Kaiser in Los Angeles in pediatrics.
Heather Schleman. Thank you to family and friends for being there for me. Dad, thank you for always picking up the phone no matter what time it was to talk to me. You were always there to calm me down when I got stressed. Shelley, thank you for coming to visit all the time and making me feel like I had a piece of home in Loma Linda. Grandma, thank you for sending me the sweetest texts and FaceTimes encouraging me. Nicholas Schmidt. His inspiration to pursue medicine came from his parents, Drs. Roy and Cindy Schmidt. They are an eternal source of encouragement and motivation. Without them, he is positive his head would be buried on a beach somewhere. He is also thankful for his girlfriend, Dr. Xian Li, who inspires him to be the best doctor and partner on and off the volleyball court. He will be at LLU for his PM&R residency.
Leah Scott. There has been no shortage of adventure in Leah's life between rock climbing, mountain biking, and snowboarding. Even with limited time, she continued to participate in these activities throughout medical school, and they often served as much-needed respite from days of endless studying. She will be moving to Salt Lake for an emergency medicine residency at the University of Utah. Neera Shaw Demharger is grateful to be here this evening with her husband, twin sister, family, classmates, and faculty. The people of Loma Linda University will always be dear to her. She will be following in her father's footsteps to become a pediatrician. She's excited to move out of California for the first time and experience life on the East Coast at Penn State for pediatrics residency.
Nahali Shah Patel credits her parents, older brother, twin sister, and husband with her success in medical school. She will join her husband in Cleveland, Ohio at Case Western Reserve University and is excited to train in pediatrics at Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital. Stephen Shannon. Stephen's calling to serve God through medicine began in Kenya as a child of medical missionaries, Doctors Kevin and Karen Shannon. He hopes to pursue this calling by serving alongside a team of like-minded medical friends in the mission field. He is exhilarated to take his next step towards this goal in moving to Tulsa, Oklahoma, to In His Image, a family medicine program with his wife, Elise Shannon.
Andrea Danielle Shields. Andrea owes her success in medical school to her spouse, Jason, who has always been there for her and made tasty food, to her mother, who always had faith in her abilities and always pushed her to succeed, to God, who opened doors and provided the strength. Andrea knows this is as much her accomplishment as it is the people, not as much her accomplishment as it is the people close to her. She will be continuing her training at Loma Linda in pathology. Carlos Silva Lynch. Throughout medical school, Carlos has been an advocate for education. He was a pathology group tutor and member of the student committee for curricular change. Outside of school, Carlos enjoys soccer, trivia, and traveling. He will be going to Cedar Sinai in Los Angeles for internal medicine residency.
Austin Smith. AJ has been blessed by the love and support of his father, Wendell, and his mother, Rose. He was inspired to go into medicine after losing his father to vascular dementia. With the guidance of Dr. Jerry Hizon, AJ was able to gain acceptance to medical school, and his wife, Justine, has been the biggest source of support throughout his journey. He wouldn't be here today without their contributions. Congratulations, AJ. Luke Spady. During his time in Loma Linda, Luke has stayed pretty busy. He got married to his wife, Olivia, during third year, took a gap year to live in Argentina and learn Spanish, and he has recently started learning how to play golf. He looks forward to moving to San Diego, where he hopes to eventually become triple boarded in internal medicine, pediatrics, and surfing.
Matthew Kiefer Sturm. Matt would like to express gratitude to his family, his friends, and to God for the love and support that carried him throughout medical school. Matthew and his wife Hira will be enjoying another 3 years in Loma Linda as Matt trains in family medicine. Alexander Nicholas Samarley. Alex has been active in student government since he's been at Loma Linda, including a very good term as Secretary for the Senate. He's continuing his education at Loma Linda University Health's anesthesiology residency.
Brian Jonathan Sujihadi. Brian Sujahadi is thankful to God, his parents, family, mentors, and friends for their support throughout the years. This accomplishment would not have been possible without their love, dedication, and prayers. He will be continuing his training in the general surgery residency program here at Loma Linda University. Nicholas Sinsteling. Before coming to Loma Linda University for medical school, Nicholas worked as an emergency department technician for 3 years. He would like to thank his family, friends, teachers, and past colleagues for their support and guidance during his journey to become a physician. Nicholas will be staying at Loma Linda University to complete a residency in emergency medicine.
Javier Torres. Javier wrote that he will be traveling to Loma Linda for a residency in radiology. He hopes his friends and peers find new and close friendships wherever they go, but not as close as the friendship they have with him. Xing Sheng Clarence Tsai. Clarence wants to thank the many faculty and residents who have invested in him. He wants to thank all his friends and family for their prayers and support. To his wife, he says, "I love you, sweetheart. I would not be here if it was not for your kindness, patience, and sacrifice. Marrying you was the best decision I ever made." Lastly, Clarence would like to thank his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Louis Andrew Ugalde. Andrew is a first-generation Latino American and would like to thank his parents for instilling in him a strong work ethic and a passion for service. During quarantine, Andrew used his free time to learn some new hobbies, including sourdough baking, pizza making, and cycling. He will be moving with his wife, Caitlin, and their dog, Kogi, to Chicago for a residency in emergency medicine. Richard Ulanka. When Richard wasn't studying during his time in medical school, he was busy either making people laugh or sleeping in lecture hall chairs that had no back support. He also filmed videos for anatomy lecture, mentored underclassmen, and led an unofficial Dr. Cole fandom. Richard will be going into the transitional year residency in Loma Linda with hopes of matching into ophthalmology by God's grace.
Madison Ulrich Hussey. Madison's mom has wanted her to be a doctor for as long as she can remember. She will be the first doctor in the family, and her baby nieces call her Dr. Maddie. She wouldn't be here today without her parents, Stephen and Nina, and her husband, Derek. The two of them will be moving to Greer, South Carolina, where she will be starting her psychiatry residency at Prisma Health. Jennifer Van Dyke. Prior to medical school, Jenny Van Dyke spent her time working at a coffee shop and tutoring math. With this graduation, she will become the first doctor in her family. Her father, whom she inherited her love of reading from, will be hooding her. She is graduating from medical school with her husband, Joe Willard. They will be moving to New York City for residency.
Joel Willard. Prior to coming to medical school, Joe Willard spent most of his time practicing his classical guitar and serenading his wife, Jenny, who is graduating alongside him. Part of his inspiration to pursue medicine was to continue the medical legacy of his grandfather, father, 2 uncles, and aunt. He will continue his training at Cohen Children's Child Neurology Residency Program in Queens, New York. Christian Villegas. When Christian was 9 years old, God gave him the passion to be a doctor after reading Gifted Hands. The path to medicine proved to be filled with many obstacles, but each time God made a way. He says, "I felt inadequate for this calling, but His strength is made perfect in my weakness." By the grace of God and family support, he will be going to the Physical Medicine and Rehab Residency Program in Loma Linda.
Taylor Michael Virtue. Taylor is joined today by loved ones that have helped him through his journey. His parents, Dwight and Shelley, his twin sister, Sierra, who's also graduating from medical school this year, and his fiancée, Hannah. Taylor and Hannah got engaged just last week. They will be moving to Portland, Oregon, where they hope to adopt a dog, and where Taylor will be pursuing a career in internal medicine. Adam Carlton Volberg. Adam would like to thank his incredible family, friends, and classmates for all their support. They have all made the last 4 years of medical school at Loma Linda the most fun years of his life yet. He will be going to the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga for an internal medicine residency.
Carl Christian Wallenkamp. During medical school, Carl Wallenkamp found the profession of his life in internal medicine, discovered the passion of his life by teaching, started the search of his life for clinical ethics, and married the love of his life, Nicolette. He matched to the Washington University Barnes Jewish Internal Medicine Residency in St. Louis, Missouri. Ian Walters. Ian thanks his father and mother, who are career missionaries currently stationed in Thailand, for encouraging him to serve others. And put God first. He also thanks his 21 cousins, his diehard friends, and all those supported him throughout this journey.
Erin Wessner. Erin would like to thank her family for supporting her throughout her journey to become a physician. She will be following in her mother's footsteps by entering the field of anesthesia. Although she feels fortunate to have been born, raised, and educated in Southern California, she is excited to move to Boston to the Massachusetts General Hospital for her residency. Peter Wang. Prior to coming to Loma Linda, Peter served in the United States Marine Corps. He will continue to trust God in providing the strength and support to endure hardships. Peter will be starting general surgery at the Naval Medical Center in San Diego, where he will continue his military service with the U.S. Navy.
Seth White. Just prior to coming to medical school, Seth proposed to his now wife, Kelsey. Notably, he is thankful she said yes. He is extremely grateful for all the joy and sustenance she provided throughout the last 4 years. Additionally, Seth feels indebted to his family, friends, and mentors who continually supported him during medical school. He will continue his training next year in Michigan. Ajwa Wiafe. Before medical school, Ajwa dreamt of becoming a holistic physician. She has been a leader in her community throughout medical school, highlighting her passions to mentor and promote healing. Ajwa enjoys music, nature, and spending time with loved ones. Last year, she co-authored and published the Healing Tree podcast with Lauren Hall. She will be a family medicine resident at Loma Linda University.
Matthew Neil Cahill Wilson. Matthew is honored to be here with the three people who helped him the most during his pursuit of a medical career. Jean Yang. As the first medical doctor in her family, Jean states that she could not have graduated without the support of her parents, her boyfriend Tuan, her brother Joseph, and her friends. Jean says her most memorable experiences in medical school were spending time and getting support from her friends here. She will be going to Oregon Health and Science University for a residency in anesthesiology.
Aaron Yim. I made it, Mom and Dad. Thanks to God, Mom, Dad, Joan, and James, the Big Yim family, my Los Angeles friends, the High Yield crew, my roommates, Sarah, Alyssa, and Julie. I will miss Loma Linda and the support I have as a student here. See you in LA.
Daphne Young. I'm sorry, I jumped the gun here. Aaron Yu.
Hylan Yu. Hylan feels extremely grateful to her family, friends, and mentors for inspiring and empowering her throughout her journey in medicine. She would like to dedicate this milestone to her mother, who made countless sacrifices and provided unending love and support to make this possible. She will be going into ophthalmology residency program here at Loma Linda University.
Congratulations, Highland. And now, Daphne Young. Daphne credits her medical school successes and completion to God, family, friends, boba, and naps. She'll be continuing her training as an anesthesiology resident at Loma Linda before serving as an active duty anesthesiologist in the U.S. Air Force. Stephen Alec Zane. Alec Zane had always strived to play a part in medicine, and today is an especially momentous day for the Zane family. Alec would like to thank his parents, grandparents, siblings, and girlfriend for their support and encouragement throughout medical school. He looks forward to the next chapter in his life as a residence physician in psychiatry at St. Joseph's in Stockton, California.
Bradley Carlson. Bradley is here because of his family's support. He especially owes this day to his wife Laura and his daughter Rosalie Grace. He will be starting orthopedic surgery residency at Loma Linda University this July.
We'll now have Dr. John Kattenhorn, President of the Alumni Association, lead in the oath.
Good evening. What a wonderful event. I'm thankful and I am proud to represent the Alumni Association, especially on this very, very important and memorable occasion. It gives me such great joy to see each of these graduates and all of their families, which have supported them endlessly throughout this very long experience. And now, on behalf of the Alumni Association, I am proud to welcome every one of you into the Loma University School of Medicine Alumni Association, I encourage each of you to remain connected to the Alumni Association, connected to the School of Medicine, and connected to each other. The Alumni Association exists, and its goal is to foster and nurture those connections. Please take advantage of that. And now, as we prepare for the 2021 graduates to recite the physician's oath, I would like to invite all of the physicians in attendance this evening, along with our graduates, to stand and to renew your commitment to the oath along with the graduates. Please recite with me. Before God, these things I do promise. In the acceptance of my sacred calling, I will dedicate my life to the furtherance of Jesus Christ's healing and teaching ministry. I will give to my teachers the respect and the gratitude which is their due. I will impart to those who follow me the knowledge and experience that I have gained. The wholeness of my patient will be my first consideration. Acting as a good steward of the resources of society and of the talents granted me, I will endeavor to reflect God's mercy and compassion by caring for the lonely, the poor, the suffering, and those who are dying. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life. I will not use my medical knowledge contrary to the laws of humanity. I will respect the rights and the decisions of my patients. I will hold in confidence all secrets committed to my keeping and the practice of my calling. I will lead my life and practice my art with purity and honor. Abstaining from immorality myself, I will not lead others into moral wrongdoing. May God's kingdom, his healing power, and the glory be experienced by those whom I serve, and may they be known in my life in proportion as I am faithful to this oath. If you're not already standing, please do stand for the closing prayer.
Please bow your heads with me. Father God, we come to you with so much gratitude for your goodness and faithfulness to our graduates, to their families, to us faculty. Lord, we acknowledge that we can do nothing without you, and we praise you that we can do all things through you. We ask your special blessing on these graduates as they go forth to continue the healing and teaching ministry that you began over 2,000 years ago. Please, Lord, walk beside them, fill them with your spirit, comfort them, fill them with courage, and help them to know how loved they are by you and by their families. And we pray that all would be to your glory. In your name, amen. Please be seated because the graduates are going to recess.